Hello children, I am Madhumita ma'am and today let's see where are we going and what are we learning today. Before that, I will tell you something very funny happened with me the day before yesterday. My friend who just has changed her house, she told me, why don't you come over to my new house? I said, I don't know your house. How will I go? Because I don't know the way. Then she told, Are, kuch nahi, paper leke aao, I will tell you the way. I said, okay, I got the paper. Then she told me, okay, so after you start from your home, take your main road, then after 2 kilometers, go towards your right, and there will be a roundabout, and from there you take a left, then from there again you take right, and then you will have an apartment. And she gave me her house number and all to come. So I wrote down everything. Then I started from home. Then I said, okay, let me follow word by word. So I just went to the main road. I went up to 2 kilometers. Then I took a right turn. Then I took a left turn. Then I took a right turn. Then I was standing in front of her apartment. I was so surprised about myself that even if without knowing the way, I could reach her home very nicely. But how was it possible? Because she gave me the instructions to follow. She gave me the instructions. She gave me a picture to go to her house. How can I reach to her house from my house? So let's see now what Ashi and her friends are doing in Delhi. So let's see. Ashi is going to India Gate to see the Republic Day parade. As you know, children, on every 26th January on the Republic Day, Delhi, we have a very big parade of so many people. People from all around India come to witness the parade. So Ashi and her friend had gone to witness that parade. And they hear something about India Gate on the loudspeaker. To the right of the president is the India Gate. This was built in memory of Indian soldiers who died in the First World War. So they were passing information to all the people who have gathered over there because they don't have any clue where is the India Gate, where is the president's house. So the loudspeaker was telling them to recognize the building. So there were a lot of people sitting on both sides of Rajpath and witnessing the parade. The main road along which the parade passes, that is called the Rajpath. Now children were talking about the buildings they can see around them. Oh, look, Aditi, this is India Gate. Now can you see the India Gate? This is the India Gate. So they saw the India Gate. They were so happy to see that. And they remembered what their sir had told them. Sir told us that Rashtrapati Bhavan passes through India Gate, so just faces the India Gate. So last building on our right must be the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Now, when they saw the India Gate, they were very happy. They remember what their sir had told them. Sir told us that Rashtrapati Bhavan faces the India Gate, so that the last building on our right must be the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Now they were very eager to know about the buildings all around them. So they had got a map. They had got a map of that particular area. So they took out that map and started reading the map. Now you can see very clearly, this is the actual picture on the left, it is the actual picture, and on the right, it is the map. Can you see the similarity between both? How easy it is for you to identify the buildings, identify the road only by looking at the map. Even if you have not visited the place, just by looking at the map, you can see the buildings, the roads very clearly. Now let's see, this is the India Gate, and the India Gate, the road which joins the India Gate to the Rashtrapati Bhavan is the Rajpath. And exactly the same thing you can see in the map. Here, this is the India Gate, and the road that's joined the Rashtrapati Bhavan is Rajpath. So from here, they will start the parade. So they could understand the roads and where the parade is going through and what are the buildings they can see on their left, on their right, what are the roads available there. Isn't it so easy only when you see the map? Now, children, always remember when you go outside, you don't know the place. Only by looking at that particular place's map, you can identify everything. And it is so easy to go to a new place when you hold that map. And the maps are very important in our daily life also. Now, let's see. If we zoom in and to look more closely at one part of the map, you can see very clearly the middle part is India Gate, and these are the so many roads joining the India Gate. So whenever you stand near the India Gate, you can find out on your looking at the map only which is the road you are going to take, where you are going to turn left, where are you going to turn right. So isn't it so easy? Now let's go to the next slide and see how nicely they are having the parade. Now the question is, how will they know what is the route from where the parade is starting and from where it is going through and where it is ending? So they thought that let's see the map very clearly and nicely we can see and we can trace the road. So they just saw the path. It was very clearly written what is the path the parade is going to take. So route of the parade was, it starts with Vijay Chowk, then it moves to Rajpath, then it reaches to India Gate, then it takes Tilak Marg, then Bahadur Shah Jafar Marg, then Subhas Marg, and it ends at Red Fort. Now for them, anybody can see only a particular area when they are sitting and watching, but they could, in their mind, they could see that yes, this is the way the parade is going through. So they just traced the map like this. It started from Vijay Chowk. You can see from here, this is the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and they started from Vijay Chowk. The parade started from Vijay Chowk, took the road, this is the Rajpath, and they reached India Gate. And after that, from India Gate, they took little left and they reached Tilak Marg. From Tilak Marg, here they reached, and then they started with Bahadur Shah Jafar Marg. Then after that, again they took Subhash Marg, and this is Red Fort. The one which I am pointing now is Red Fort. Now see children, here something is written, scale. 2 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. What is that meaning? Now what do you mean by this? Let's find out what is the meaning of this scale and how is it important for us to find out the scale in the map and as well as in the real life. Now Mohan told, my mother told me it is 2 kilometer from Bijay Chowk to India Gate. So Aditi was holding this map and she said, oh yes, it is about 4 centimeter. I can see they were having a scale. They said, yes, it is 4 centimeter, nearly 4 centimeter. So on the map, it is same as 2 kilometer on the ground and 2 centimeter is equal to, see in the previous map, what is written? 2 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. So if it is 4 centimeter, how many kilometers it will be? Definitely 2 kilometers. And then you are right. See, it is written at the end of the scale map that 2 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. Then they just try to find out, what do you mean by scale? The scale shows you how to measure the distance between features shown on the map. For example, when we read a map, these are the particular places given. So what, let's say this is place A, this is let's say place B, this is let's say place C. So, and on the bottom in the map it is written 1 centimeter is equals to, let's say, 5 kilometer. It can be different. It is different for different maps. So let's say in this map, in the map which is showing A, B and C place, 1 centimeter is equals to 5 kilometer. So we want to find out the distance between place A and place C. So how will we find out? What we can do, this is the easiest way. You can just put a scale or you just put a string on this and measure it on the scale. Let's say this distance is 4 centimeter. Let's say this distance, or you have measured the distance that it is 4 centimeter. But what is the actual distance? This shows the actual distance. This is the actual distance for 1 centimeter. That means if it is 1 centimeter is there in the map, then actually the distance between places is 5 kilometer. So imagine if that is 4 centimeter, you have already measured it as 4 centimeter, then what will be the distance between place A and B? 4 into 5 kilometer is equals to 20 kilometer. Isn't it easy? Now let's try to find out from B to C. So let's say it is 3 centimeter. We measured in the map, it is 3 centimeter. So can you now tell me what is the distance between B to C? Very easy. 3 into 5 is equals to actual distance is 15 kilometer. So now you understood how important it is for us to understand how the scale is working. So the scale shows you to measure the distance. Without the scale, the map is it is not of any use because you won't be able to find out the actual distance between the places, isn't it? Now let's see, if Rubia is coming from Jama Masjid to join the parade, guess how far she has to walk? And the next question is, what is the total route of the parade is about how long? So now they found it very interesting now because they knew that how to do it. So they said, Rubia, let's say how they're doing it. Jama Masjid is 1 centimeter away from Subhas Marg, which is the route of the parade. So now the scale is already showing 2 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. So 1 centimeter is equals to 1000 divided by 2 is equal to 500 meter. So Rubia will have to walk only 500 meter to join the parade. Now they have to find out what is the total distance covered by people when they are taking that parade. Those who are going for the parade, what is the total distance starting from Bijay Chowk, which is ending at Red Fort. So what did they do? Again, they took the measurement and they found out that the total distance covered by them is 16 centimeter. So 16 centimeter, we can find out 1 centimeter is 500 meter. So 16 centimeter is equal to 500 meter into 16 is equals to 8,000 meter, which is equals to 8 kilometer. So now you know how easy it is to find out when you know the map and also the distance in the map so that you can find out the actual distance. Now let's go to the next slide. After they observed the parade, they were so happy they visited Red Fort. All of you must be knowing about Red Fort. Why it is called Red Fort? Because the color of the stone is red. Now when they entered the Red Fort, they again got a map of that so that they will know what are the buildings, because on each building the names are not written, isn't it? So only when you take the map, you see the map and you see the actual building, you know that yes, the names written on the map and the building which is standing in front of me is the same thing. So they started they started from the Lahori gate. So you can see when we reached Red Fort, there was a long queue for tickets. The main entrance is called Lahori gate. After entering, we turned left into a long corridor with little shapes on both sides. This is called Meena Bazaar. I bought some lovely bangles. Now Jama Masjid, that area is Red Fort and Jama Masjid area is very famous for its market. So when they entered, they took the Lahori gate. From there, they turned left. Then they saw so many shops. Now let's see how they are managing with the maps. Let's see how they are going through the maps. Now let's find from the map which of this is nearer. So let's first go to the map. This is the total map of the Red Fort which they are having with them. So you can see very clearly they have started from Lahori gate. This is the Lahori gate. And here you can see the scale. 1 centimeter is equals to 100 meter. Why? It is less. Now children, when we are covering a small area, the scale becomes larger and larger. When we are talking about a room, sometimes we take 1 centimeter is equals to only 5 meter. And when we are talking about the map of a country or the map of the world or the map of the states, the scale becomes very large because sometimes it is 1 centimeter equals to 100 kilometers, sometimes it is 1000 kilometers, sometimes 10,000, sometimes 2000. because they are going to a very confined place, because Red Fort is not that big as a state or as a country or as a as world. So when they have taken that map shows only that particular area. So here the scale is 1 centimeter is equals to 100 meter. So they started from Lahori Gate here. From here they entered from here, and on their left they saw Meena Bazaar, and then they went through this. So these are, I have already marked it. So let's see the questions first. What are the questions? Which of this is nearer to river Yamuna? Diwane Aam or Diwane Khas? Now let's see. Now you can see from here, this is Diwane Aam. The first is Diwane Aam. And as you go farther and farther, you can see Diwane Khas. Now from the map only you can see that which is nearer to river Yamuna. So let's see which is nearer to river Yamuna. Diwane Khas is nearer to Yamuna than Diwane Aam, because when they entered, Diwane Aam was the first building. After that only Diwane Khas came. So that is why Diwane Khas is nearer to river Yamuna. Now let's see the next question. Between which two buildings is Aramgarh? Now you very well can tell without going to that building only, just by looking at the map, because the map is with you. So you can tell very well what are the two buildings between which Aramgarh is there. So you can see from here, these are the two buildings, and Aramgarh is here. Aramgarh is here. So can you see that this is Rang Mahal and this is Hammam. So what are the two buildings? The two buildings are Hammam and Rang Mahal. Aramgarh is between, and also you can see that Diwane Khas is also here. So we can also say Aramgarh is between Diwane Khas and Rang Mahal. So it is between all these three buildings. Now let's go to the next question. Which building do you pass while going from Rang Mahal to Hammam? Again, let's see the map. This is Rang Mahal, and this is Hammam. So if you are going from Rang Mahal to Hammam, how easy it is to tell only by looking at the map what is the building which you are going to take. While going from Rang Mahal to Hammam, we pass through Aramgarh and Diwane Khas. Now let's see the next previous one. Let's see the previous one. Which building on this map is farthest from Meena Bazaar? What do you mean by farthest? Farthest मतलब जो सबसे दूर हो. मीना बाजार से सबसे दूर बिल्डिंग कौन सा है? उसके लिए भी हमें फिर से मैप देखना पड़ेगा. So let's see the map. Now you can see Meena Bazaar is here. And what is the building which is farthest from this place? You can see from here, the farthest which you can find out from the map is only the farthest in real life also. So let's see. The Hammam is farthest from Meena Bazaar. The next question is, what is the distance? How far is Lahori Gate is from Diwane Khas? Now, I have already just explained you how you can find out the actual distance. Now again, just take a scale, just put that scale on the map and find out what is the map distance in this. So let's see what is the map distance in this. Now, distance from Lahori Gate to Diwane Khas is about 6 centimeter on map. Now you just saw that the map is given here 1 centimeter scale. Here scale is 1 centimeter is equals to 100 meter. 1 centimeter is equals to 100 meter. So if you find out the distance between the two places in map, then definitely you can find out the actual distance. So let's say it is 6 centimeter. So the distance is 6 centimeter in the map. So what will be the actual distance? It is 6 into 100 meter is equals to 600 meter. How easy it is. Without actually measuring the place, they could tell the approximate distance. These are all approximate distance. What is the meaning of approximate? When it is not exact. it is very near to that particular distance. It is called approximate distance. Now let's see the next one. Make it bigger, make it smaller. Now mapping is very closely related to this. When we make map, it is very closely related to what we are going to learn now. How to make a particular thing bigger, smaller. So let's see. Now children, when we are going to learn this is very important when we are making maps, or even when we are doing any kind of drawing, to make exactly the same thing with exactly the double the amount or maybe triple the amount. It is very easy. It is just mathematical calculation. Everything is related to mathematical calculation. Without calculation, we cannot even do any map. Got it? Now, here you can see there are some pictures and they are grid. What do you mean by grid? जब एक square बन के होता है, these are called grids. These are called grids. These are called grids, and you can see in the map also grids are given. Sometimes grids are given, sometimes grids are not given. So how to make a drawing bigger or smaller? Now this is very, very easy. Now I'll give you one example here. Now let's see. Let's imagine that this is a 1 centimeter grid. That means this is a grid with 1 centimeter. Each square is of 1 centimeter side. Let's see. Okay. So each square is of 1 centimeter side. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. So this is a 1 centimeter grid. And now I'm going to draw a picture on this, and later I have to make it maybe 3 times. So let's see. Let's take a very simple picture. Let's start from here. Okay. Here. Let's take this leaf. This is the drawing of a leaf. Okay. Now this is drawn in 1 centimeter. Now somebody comes to you. ये तो बहुत छोटा हो गया. इसको थोड़ा 3 times करके दिखाओ इसका. So how to do it? You must be wondering. 3 times कैसे हम लोग कैसे करेंगे? Approximate देख के बनाएंगे इसका 3 times? No, because this is mathematical calculation. So what you can do, as you can see, this is a 1 centimeter grid. So if you want to make a drawing which is 3 times of this drawing, then you have to make a grid of 3 centimeter. That means you have to make a bigger grid where each side will be 3 centimeter. Similarly, if you have to make this drawing 5 times bigger, then you have to make another grid where each side will be 5 centimeter. Now you understood how easy it is to draw, do it double or maybe 3 times or 5 times. Again, if you have to make it half, what will you do? Now this is 1 centimeter, so you have to take 0.5 millimeter, half of 1 centimeter. So you can just make it half and make smaller square so that each square will be 0.5 centimeter or 5 millimeter. Now you understood, children? It is so easy for you to do any drawing, and this is very important. You are thinking that you are learning it in class 5, but this is actually the engineers, they do it. The architects, they do it. Otherwise, how will they make the drawing? How will they make the bigger building? Because this is the way they do the calculation, and they make it bigger in size. And maybe when you are doing for smaller also, this kind of calculation is very important. Now children, what did we learn today? First, we learned about the scale. Now as I had told you, the scale is something which is used to measure the distance in the actual life. In actual, the actual distance is only measured by only when you see the scale. So next time when you see any atlas, you must be playing atlas with your friends, isn't it? It's a very nice game. So when you play atlas, try to play something new. Just tell that this is the way we are going to, not only we are going to point out the place, now we are going to play with the distance between the place. So you know that how to find out the distance. Just take a scale or take a small string and measure the distance on the map. And again, you just calculate, see the scale given on the bottom, multiply and tell the actual distance and tell your friends how to do it also. So children, next time when you go for your Atlas game, try to show off your knowledge and understand that mapping is very important in your daily life also. I hope you enjoyed this session, and in the next class, what are we going to learn today? I'm telling you, we are going to learn about the direction in the map, which is very, very important. So I'm ending this session. Let's wait and see what are we going to learn in the next session.